Hello, Leo. How are you guys? So this is going to be your March 2022 career and money reading. We're going to be taking a look at what energy could potentially be available to you over the next 30 days. And yeah, so if it doesn't resonate, because it is for the collective, feel free to check your other placements. Okay. So what's going in for my Leos regarding career and money over the next 30 days? All right, Leo, so current position, you have the Ace of Wands. So I wouldn't be surprised if right now there's a sense of like excitement, inspiring sort of energy surrounding your career right now. It's like this energy of, like expanding your business, starting new endeavors. It's like that kind of energy. And it's like an energy of like, again, like just like this increased creative enthusiasm for your work. Whenever you're in that sort of energy, that's always a great energy to be in because, that sort of energy is never negative. It's the type of energy that inevitably leads you to wealth opportunities, doors opening for you, and things like that. This card also has this energy of taking action when you feel intuitively prompted to do so. Okay, so I love this energy for you right now, Leo. This is a beautiful energy to be in for your situation right now. Feeling creative, feeling inspired. You know what I mean? I love that. Starting something, expanding your ideas, expanding your business. That is a really beautiful energy to be in, Leo. I love that for you. I can't stress that enough. So challenging you right now is the King of Pentacles. So the fact that this is a challenge right now, there could be some issues regarding like money at the moment, regarding your career and money, because the King of Pentacles represents like wealth and generosity. And the fact that this is in your challenge position, I wouldn't be surprised if there is a little bit of a challenge right now surrounding like, financial success and stability. For a small portion of you, it may not resonate for everyone, but maybe a small portion of you, there could be this energy of like you wanting to use your resources and provide connections to others and maybe like be a mentor to someone that's like looking to get into your field or something along those lines. But it's a bit of a challenge right now. Maybe there's just certain blocks that's preventing that from happening or not allowing it to be as smooth of a situation as it could be. I feel like that's just like a small percentage of you, but I think mainly though it's just kind of speaking to like the stability of things right now, like financially, regarding like your work in your career right now or whatever like this new endeavor is. Maybe you haven't really seen like the financial growth quite yet. Maybe it's not quite there yet. Maybe that's something that you're working on or working towards, but that's like the energy that it's giving, being that the King of Pentacles is your challenge. Past position, you have the Eight of Cups. So the Eight of Cups talks about walking away from whatever is no longer serving you. So I'm wondering, what is it that you walked away from in the past, Leo? What did you move on from? It's like this energy of like I said, like walking away from whatever is no longer serving you. Since this is a career and money reading, of course I could talk about like abandoning a job or a career path that is like no longer fulfilling to you. But I mean, with these readings, like yes, the intent is career and money, but I like to take a look at all the possibilities with the energy. So I mean, even if it's not necessarily, a job or anything like that, this could represent you walking away from a person that was no longer serving you. I'm sorry, let me turn my notifications off. This could talk about you walking away from a person that's no longer serving you, walking away from any situation that's no longer serving you, or even walking away from certain like thoughts, beliefs, mindsets that no longer serve you. It's just that sort of energy that I'm seeing in the past. The recent past, you have the Five of Cups. So the Five of Cups represents this energy of sort of like grief and sadness, like feeling like there's been a loss of some sort. So I feel like this could pertain to your financial situation, since we just finished talking about the King of Pentacles being in your challenge position. I'm wondering if there's like feelings of like loss or grief surrounding your career or your money in the recent past, or like any just sort of disappointment that's surrounding like your money situation. But this card does represent like, you know, a new career direction or partnership on the horizon. So I mean, this is like recent past energy. So if you're not still in this energy, that's great. But if you are, just know that this card does represent, like, it does acknowledge, like, you know, that sadness or like that grief or whatever, that feeling of loss financially, or just resources in general. It doesn't have to be money specifically. It could be like other resources for your business. Like if you left your job and you were making a certain amount of money at one job, but then you left that job to do something else, you might be missing like the income from that past job, like, you know what I mean? Or, you know, there might be like a cut in your pay right now, or like, again, it could talk about like just not being where you want to be financially in terms of like this new endeavor, or, you know, whatever this business idea is, or even at work. So, you know, take it as it resonates, but because this is past energy, you know, the Eight of Cups, walking away, blah, 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 then this is the recent past. If you're no longer in that energy, but at one point you were in the recent past, that's great that you're no longer in that energy. But if you still are, I hope it's solace, some sort of solace to you, that a new career direction or partnership or whatever, or opportunity is on the horizon for you when this card appears. Now, on your mind right now, Leo, you're in this energy of the Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles is like long-term abundance, steady progress. So I feel like mentally you're probably more so in a space where like you don't really care for like get rich quick schemes. Like you want something that's going to be sustainable, that's going to have long-term abundance, longevity, that's going to be around for a very long time, that's meaningful. I feel like mentally that's where you are right now. Like whatever it is that you're working on, like you want it to have longevity. You want it to like really like impact people and that sort of vibe. This card is also like just this energy of, you know, things moving very slowly, like the need to have like patience at this time, allowing results to unfold organically, the need to continue taking steady action on your goals, that type of energy. So I just feel like that's like kind of where you are right now mentally, Leo. Like you are actively like working towards your goals, like you're taking it one step at a time. You're being patient, you're not rushing anything, because again, like you want something that's sustainable, you want longevity, and you know you can't get that if you rush things. So I love where you are mentally right now, Leo. Now, the energy leading you into the future, Leo, is the Five of Swords. So I feel like this is more of just like a hey, sort of heads up sort of energy. I don't think it's anything like super bad. I mean, of course, everyone's going to be different, but the Five of Swords is this energy of like conflict and argument. So, I mean, you could potentially find yourself in some sort of disagreement with someone in the workplace, or, you know, with someone in regards to whatever it is that you're working on. Doesn't necessarily mean that. Again, I feel like this is more so just like a warning, if anything, like, hey, this is just like a heads up. And really this card also talks about like just remembering that if this energy presents itself to you, like if you find yourself in a position with a person that is hostile, toxic, trying to get a rise out of you, trying to argue with you, I think this card is more so just a reminder, like, you have the power, like, you're being tested right now, and you have all the power to determine how you respond to that energy. You don't have to let anyone get you out of character. You don't have to respond to everything negative or every toxic person or toxic situation that presents itself. You know what I mean? Like, you are fully capable of preserving your energy and like not responding to certain things and using that energy and redirecting it towards something else more productive. So I feel like that's sort of the energy that's going to be leading you into the future. So just be mindful of that. If you find that energy popping up again, like if you find like certain situations or certain people are trying to get a rise out of you or toxic or less than pleasant, just know like how you respond is everything. You do not need to engage with certain people. Everyone does not deserve a response. And even if something occurs that you don't necessarily like, your response is everything. You don't have to respond like an asshole. You know what I mean? Like, you control that. And I think that's really just what this card is saying. Now, in the about you position right now, Leo, you have the Six of Cups. So this is an energy of like, having the support of friends and family around you, co-workers that may feel like family, your actual family, friends who feel like family, because that support really motivates you to, be focused and achieve your goals. And it also represents like having harmony in your workspace is like a big deal for you. Like, that's something that's super important for you. And I think it's funny because we just finished talking about the Five of Swords and we know like what that energy represents. And, harmony is important to you. So I think it's interesting. Now, the more about this position, you do have the Seven of Pentacles. So this card really talks about like just having patience as you put in that work. Like, more work and effort is needed at this time, and to just be patient with yourself. Like, results are coming. You will get to wherever it is that you're trying to go. You will reach whatever goals that you're trying to reach. You just have to be patient with yourself right now. Don't be too hard on yourself. Yeah, don't get wrapped up in like, oh, I'm this old and by this age I thought I would have had this accomplished, or I would have been further in my career, or I would have had this accomplished by now, or this would have been done right. Like, don't get wrapped up in that. Like, don't be so hard on yourself. Please don't do that. Just know, like, whatever it is that you're experiencing right now, it's a very important part of the process. Just know, like, you are exactly where you're meant to be. The lessons that you're learning right now, you are meant to learn them. Just stay patient and continue dedicating yourself to all of the hard work that you've been putting in, because that's also what the Seven of Pentacles represents. It represents someone that's been hard at work, that's been putting in lots of work. And maybe like the results that you think you should have by now, or you thought you should have had by now, aren't appearing quite yet. But this card is just a reminder, like, don't get wrapped up in that. Like, it's coming. You know what I mean? It's like that energy of like, yes, we acknowledge that you've been working hard, and we encourage you to keep working hard, because, you are almost there and you'll get there eventually. And, so, just keep that in mind, Leo. Now, in the hopes and fears position, you do have the Judgment card. So in terms of fears, this could represent, someone judging themselves a little too harshly. And we've talked about this in this reading, like, don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, we know you're not supposed to be doing that. So I think this is just like confirmation. And then if it's like a hope, it's more of an energy of like, learning from your past mistakes, being wise enough to recognize any past mistakes, and again, like, learning from them, like not repeating them, not allowing them to define you. So yeah. So the final outcome, Leo, you have the Nine of Swords, and The clarifier, you have the World card. Intuitively, what this lets me know is like I wouldn't be surprised if you are sort of in your head right now, or if within the next 30 days you will be in your head. And what you're in your head about is how people are going to perceive what it is that you're doing, what it is that you're working on. Like, is it going to resonate with them? Will you get the recognition that you deserve? Will you be celebrated for your efforts? Is this worth it? Is all this work that you're putting in, is it worth it? Will it pay off? Is it all for nothing? Like, what, I can definitely see an energy of that. And I think you might be being a little hard on yourself, Leo. I do. I think you could be being a little hard on yourself at the moment, or in the near future. Yep, I just pulled another one. You got the Moon card, just like as an additional clarifier. The Moon card talks about our hopes and our fears. So it's very evident that you have lots of hopes, high hopes regarding whatever it is that you are working on. I can see that whatever it is that you're working on is definitely a passion project. It's something that you care about. It's something that you love. It's near and dear to your heart. It means a lot to you. But there's fears here. There's fear, you could be doubting yourself. I mean, it's going to be different for everybody, but you're definitely in your head. You know what I mean? Like, is this going to work out? It could be like, again, like I said, like, how are people going to perceive this? How are they going to receive this? Will they receive it in the way that I intended them to? Will they connect with the work that I'm doing? It's like that type of energy. You've got a lot on your mind right now. You've got a lot on your mind. I definitely see some overthinking happening here. You could be, staying up at night. These thoughts could be definitely creeping in on you, Leo. I can definitely see that. So let's pull some Oracle deck cards for you, Leo, because Leo, I just see this energy of like you just kind of being hard on yourself, and I think that's why all these repeated messages kept coming out through the reading. Like, don't judge yourself so harshly. Don't be so hard on yourself. You're doing a good job. If you needed to hear that, I'm here to tell you. Whatever it is that you've been doing, let me tell you, it's very evident in this reading that you've been putting in the work. I see your dedication. Like, Spirit wants me to see that and communicate that with you. You have been making tons of effort, and you should be proud of that. Don't psych yourself out, none of that. You got, what do you need to release? The waning moon. So let's read about that really quick. So it says, the waning moon points to what's falling away. Life goes in cycles, and sometimes we need downtime or to let go. No matter when in the moon cycle you pull this card, it's a sign that a situation has peaked, for better or worse, and it's time for you to go easier. It's the autumn and winter of the cycle. So what do you need to release? Almost certainly something from the situation you're asking about. This card can be very positive, but it can still be gently suggesting that you let something go and stop trying so hard. It's safe to let go and move on. Additional meanings for this card: move forward with as little resistance as possible. This is not the time to start new projects. Releasing emotional baggage is recommended now. Say sorry to someone. Do energetic work such as meditation or yoga. And soon you will see what lies ahead. So I think it's very interesting because it talks about the need to let something go. And honestly, I feel like what you need to let go, Leo, is like this sort of like harshness, this harsh judgment that you have of yourself. Like, like being in your head. I think that's what you need to let go. I think you're being a little too hard on yourself, or maybe you might find yourself in that sort of energy over the next 30 days. And I think if you do, this is like just reminding you to stop that. Release that negativity. Like, don't overthink things. Don't. Oh. So this flew out. So you got the spirit box, trust your talents, and changing time. Shit, another one just flew out. I'm sorry. Air Guardian, shift your perception. Wow. Leo, the cards want to talk to you, okay? And then you also got trust and thrive, the Stag card. So I really feel like at this time, this is just like the fact that I've never gotten this many oracle deck messages fly out while shuffling. So I just really feel like this is Spirit's way of like just wanting to talk to you at this time. I really do. So let's take all of them. So you got 3 from the Angels and Ancestors deck. So let's read them. Let's start with the Spirit box, since that was the first one that came out, which says trust your talents in changing times. So stay alert as change is in the air. The energies around you are changing at this time, and although it may not always be comfortable, you are equipped with all that you need to survive this shift. You are being presented with opportunities to reach spaces you've never encountered before, and this can make you feel on edge. But be open to the shifts occurring because they really are the answers to your prayers. The experience of being hunted or threatened is now behind you, and you're being invited to come out of your den and reveal your glory and talent. Oh my gosh, Leo, I'm so sorry. The reading, the camera just stopped recording. I'm so sorry. So here, I'm going to read this again. And you are being invited to come out of your den and reveal your glory and talents. Call upon Spirit Fox Medicine to help you be seen for who you are and trust in your talents in order to be the best you can be in these changing times. Beautiful. Next, we're going to read about the Air Guardian, which says shift your perception. So change the way you think and you will change your whole reality. Wow, were we not just talking about this? Okay, so it says, when this card arises, it's an opportunity to learn about your way of thinking. You are being guided to recognize that not all you see is exactly the way you see it. Sometimes the mind can play games, and sometimes our perceptions can be wrong. If you are being challenged or feel that there's a lack of clarity or direction in your life at the moment, there's a good chance the way you're thinking or what you're focusing on has a lot to do with that reality. You are being guided to open your eyes and your mind, go beyond any limits you have set for yourself, and recognize that the way you see the world is how you will experience the world. Opportunities are moving in your direction, but they will only open up for you if you are ready to do the internal work to support them. Yes, there's definitely a need for a mental shift. I told you, Leo. I don't know what's going on with you mentally, but I personally feel like you might be like a little too critical of yourself right now. But I don't know. Whatever's going on with you mentally, you really know what's going on. But how many times can they tell you in different ways to change your perception, shift how you're thinking right now? All right, and then last you have the Stag, which says trust and thrive. So come alive and thrive, stand in your light and glory with grace and majesty. You have an opportunity to thrive. Trust in all that you have to offer, all your gifts, strength, and power, and make the most of it. You were born to lead, and this can only become reality when you are willing to put yourself in that position. Stag energy allows you to feel safe because the antlers keep away anything that could interfere with your intelligence and presence, and their strength gives you the power to be agile in your thinking. You are being encouraged to retain your dignity and be proud of who you are and all that you've accomplished. This, in turn, will give you even more power to thrive. Onwards and upwards. Beautiful. So now, Leo, before I close out this reading, we're going to pull a affirmation, a positive affirmation card for you. And so this will just be your personal affirmation that you can say to yourself over the next 30 days regarding career and money. You have, I am grateful. I realize that what is right about my life outnumbers what I perceive to be wrong about my life. I choose to focus on what makes me feel good. I am grateful. Okay, so I think that's very important over the next 30 days. Like if you find yourself being overly critical of yourself or just overthinking your situation in general, I think that's a great thing to say to yourself, like, I am grateful. Like, things could be so much worse. There's people out there who don't even have half as what I do. What do I have in my life that you know, a lot of people may not have, or at one point I didn't have, that I have now, that I'm grateful for. I think just, you know, it's all about shifting your mentality and shifting your perception and things like that. So I think that's going to be your biggest challenge over the next 30 days, Leo, is changing that perception and like getting out of your head, and definitely keep working, you know, definitely keep putting in all the hard work that you've been putting in, and all the dedication. You are so close to your goals, and you are fully capable of achieving everything that your heart desires in terms of your career and money. I really do believe that. But I think in order to get there, you have to release, you know, certain thought patterns. You have to change your way of thinking. You have to change your perception. It all starts with you, and it all, you know, you got to have a healthy mind if you want to attract certain blessings and you want to achieve certain goals. The goals mean absolutely nothing if you're not in the mental space to receive them, or, you know what I mean, things like that. So best of luck, Leo. This is what I have for you regarding career and money. Thank you so much for watching. And if it didn't resonate, that's okay. Feel free to check your other placements, as you might find some messages there for you. So thank you so much again, and I will see you guys in the next video.